Hey everybody, it's Andy with Nerds on the Run. I know I'm a little slow on the uptake here with the Disney Expo, the D23 reactions. I've kind of sprinkled some nuggets in here and there amongst my various Twitter musings and some of my previous YouTube posts. Um, I just wanted to kind of go through some quick and dirty highlights of some of the stuff that's really been stand out to me through the expo. Um, we're going to kind of go through some Disney stuff, some Marvel stuff, and some Star Wars stuff. So, first of all, Disney, they have kind of clarified what Disney Plus is going to be. It's the information's been available for those that were really digging for it, but it's on Front Street now, coming out November 12th. There's some exciting projects that are dropping day and date. The shows that are on there, I think, are going to be fairly comprehensive. It seems like there's going to be a lot of good on there, though I do definitely still hold some reservation. They are basically making it available so that you can pre purchase it. I believe anybody that has a subscription for Disney Plus by September 1st or by September 30th, I apologize, it's one of those two, will be able to lock in a 3-year package price. It's like 140 bucks and some change, 140.67, some odd amount like that. It basically works out to be about $4 a month, which is quite a bit less than Netflix. You are locked in for a multi-year deal, which I've always avoided those kinds of subscriptions. Me personally, I would rather pay a little bit more unit price, but less on the front end if it reserves me the right to back out. That's just me, but I could totally respect why people might want to get in on the ground floor. If you are interested in getting in just for the year price, it's $70, so $69.99 for a year, which is still a decent deal as far as unit price goes per month. So for those of you that have heard some of the rumors, the Disney Plus thing is kind of cracking down on sub sharing. They are not really allowing for sub sharing the way Netflix has, which I think you can use it like on up to 8 devices now. They've updated their policies several times, and I think there's a premium version of Netflix or a multi-user version of Netflix that allows for more users than that. However, my understanding of how Disney is going to work down is it's going to work itself down is that there's going to be some kind of user verification that makes it such that I don't know the technology behind it. Maybe somebody that's a little bit more versed than myself could explain it, but I could say kind of like how VPNs, kind of like how some remote desktops and things like that work. If you try to log in from multiple devices and that user's already active elsewhere, it terminates the one session and then activates the other one. So, PSN on PlayStation Network, there are lots of paid subscriptions have single user portals like that. So that does seem like they're adopting that basic strategy that's new to the streaming game, but it's been in existence with other services out there. So that seems like they're cracking down on that sub sharing stuff, which is, I mean, I don't really do a lot of sub sharing with my account. I know a lot of people that do. I know it can be beneficial for those with limited income. So, you know, anyway, that's where we're on with that. That's where we're at with that. As far as the things that I'm interested from Disney with their proprietary projects, mostly for me, it's Onward. I did drop a video about this, when I was still just kind of figuring out how to upload on this channel. So I would be surprised if anyone saw that. Maybe if you're really liking these, you're going back through my back catalog a little bit, but probably not. Onward is the next picture coming from Pixar, which is now Disney proper, or they're still the independently operated second party owned by Disney. But our friends Tom Hiddleston, or not Tom Hiddleston, excuse me, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt are the main characters in that. Kind of for those of you that didn't see the video or haven't seen trailers or don't know what it is, the short version is a look at a fantasy character world with elves and trolls and gnomes, but advances several centuries into the future to have kind of the modern conveniences. What would a world like that be like with all the modern kind of evolutions of technology? So it looks promising. I think the character design is cute. Julia Louis Dreyfus is also the mom in the movie, so there's lots of good names attached to it. I think, and Pixar really, I think the worst they've ever done is Good Dinosaur, and it's still better than quite a number of movies. So, take that for what it will. It is being directed by the same gentleman that did Monsters U, which, critically speaking, I think did pretty darn well, actually. It didn't do gangbusters at the box office, but it's, for my money, Monsters U has strikes that pushes the threshold of what's allowable with Disney's tolerance for humor that's a little bit outside the box. It really pushes that envelope. So I'm hoping to see more of that. It's crude, but more than just being crude, it's a little bit zany. It's a little bit it just has a slight, dark is maybe too strong of a word, but it has a tinge of dark to it in the humor, which sits well with me. So that's what's coming down the line from Disney itself. Now Marvel obviously detailed a little bit more, has some information about Black Panther 2, the two kings, Namor being the main, I don't know if he's the antagonist, but he's certainly going to be, he was originally a villain in the comics, so probably that'll be the case for his MCU debut, but that's looking promising. Our boy Kit Harington, the best thing to come out of Game of Thrones, in my opinion, is, maybe he's a little bit typecast, but he's coming down the line as a knight in Eternals. Is it the Black Knight? I think is maybe what the character's name is. I'm really not versed in Eternals, so somebody please correct me. But he's going to be the Black Knight in Eternals. Hopefully that's good. I think that he's a good guy character. I could be wrong about that, but based on just what limited research I've done, it looks like something that could be fun for him to do, and I'm glad. Whatever you think about Game of Thrones, probably my opinions about it have been clear. I'm glad that Kit Harington's moving on to some good things with a good group of people to do projects with. Last but not least, on the Marvel side, for my interest, is just, the whole hashtag Save Spider-Man thing. Tom Holland is at least still saying he's going to be playing Spider-Man. I have the same reservations I have in the video that I made about that, but I am glad he's still going to be attached to the character, because them rebooting it, when they have such a good character and somebody that has captured the character so well, for that to end because of behind the scenes drama is a real heartbreaker. So I'm glad at least that part hasn't come down the line yet. Maybe they still work something out. I'm not holding my breath, but Tom Holland's still in the driver's seat of Spider-Man as far as Peter Parker on screen goes. So this could mean, this is totally conjecture, this didn't come out of the expo at all, but maybe there's some kind of time jump and they sort of wrap his story as a maturing Spider-Man. They ice him off and kind of do what they were maybe setting up anyway by setting up Miles as his predecessor. Or maybe they do something totally different with the character than that. I don't know. Either way, he'll be involved for at least a couple more movies, it sounds like, which is good. Now, on the Star Wars side of things, I haven't really talked Star Wars too much on this channel, but I'm a big Star Wars guy. I don't have all my memorabilia in place yet in the new office space while I'm setting up here, but our boy Ewan McGregor is back in the saddle as Obi-Wan. That was something that was rumored when the kind of Solo era projects were being felt out, and what was going to happen with some of the filling in the gaps storylines of the expanded Star Wars universe. The fact that it's coming back as a miniseries is something that I'm really, really stoked about. I'm glad that Ewan McGregor is renewing the role, and that he has aged and could then play an older version of Obi-Wan, closer to the Alec McGuinness age, Obi-Wan. That's a good thing. I'm really glad about that. So, I'm looking forward to the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan miniseries, whatever form that takes. There was a Rise of Skywalker trailer. I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't really check it out too closely. I got wrapped up in episode 8 stuff and all the negativity of that. I was one of the people that was really not pleased with the movie. Didn't go to the extent that some people did about casting petitioning for a re-release or a re-screening. No offense if you were one of those people. I bad movies happen sometimes, and bad movies with good things in them, happen all the time. So it's just unfortunate that happened with Star Wars because that was unexpected. The Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna kind of just keep my head low. I'll keep it in the news when it comes up, when something happens. I'm not really gonna oversaturate, overexpose myself for that because I want to be able to bring you all a fresh take, fresh reaction without having all the build up, all the lead up, just sort of blind when the movie comes out. So look forward to some stuff on Rise of Skywalker this December. Lastly, in the Star Wars camp, and for this video, is going to be the Mandalorian project that's coming out. That is coming out day and date of Disney. That is a cheap move, Disney, because you're going to get all of our dollars with that move. But Mandalorian is coming out. Pedro Pascal, probably the other best thing to come out of Game of Thrones, if I'm honest. The Viper. What a character, and a strong character actor too. I've only seen a very little bit of his other work, but he's always very solid, and him in the titular role is going to be something that I could really get down with. So I'm looking forward to that. There's some other big names in the Carl Weathers. There's some other names attached to that show that I think could make it really, really solid. So I'm holding on to hope that that's going to be good. It's definitely going to. It has a lot riding on it because it does set the precedent for what the show, what the quality of Disney Plus with their high IP, what that sort of tone is setting with that service, with the streaming service. So if The Mandalorian is the cream of the crop, then they come out the gate strong. A lot of people, with all the many programs between Marvel and Star Wars properties, She-Hulk and all these other shows that they announced at the Disney Expo, you can go check those out at the Marvel website like I did, and most major news outlets by now have reported on them. Again, I'm slow on the uptake, so sorry about that. But the precedent will be set by The Mandalorian, and hopefully that means if it sets a good precedent, Obi-Wan and She-Hulk and many of the other Marvel shows that are going to be involved in that are going to follow suit. If it doesn't set a strong precedent, then a lot of those other shows are going to have to make up ground, and we'll have to see how that goes. One thing I should have mentioned while I'm thinking of The Mandalorian and back related to Disney Plus again, they are going to do a traditional release schedule. This is something else that's kind of different for streaming services. Netflix right now kind of has this binge watch, release chunks of episodes, 10 if that's the season, or 16 if that's the season, or what have you. That is not the case with Disney Plus services. Disney Plus services are going to be launching episodically. They didn't specify weekly, but they did specify that it trickles out like a traditional broadcast television service would work. So I think that could be a good thing. I think that could be a good thing for kind of the getting buzz going, nerd culture and reporting outlets and stuff have never really adjusted to the format of Netflix. Major sites like IGN and others do sort of episodic reviews on a weekly basis as if it were coming out the way that broadcast television used to. But, the fact of the matter is everybody can watch the show, if you want to binge it 48 hours, 36 hours, 24 hours after it's been dropped, you can have seen the whole season of whatever it is. So I'm fine with it. I personally barely have time to do stuff like this for fun, and I don't have time to binge watch entire seasons of shows, so it won't make a difference to me. I'll still be able to kind of piecemeal little bits of it out. So and for my own viewing pleasure at my own speed. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty much at this point sold on Disney Plus. It's their game to lose as far as I'm concerned right now, but hopefully they don't. Hopefully they come out strong. I'm not a Disney fanboy or anything like that. Well, I mean, I enjoy Disney, but I hold them accountable as somebody that I hope produces good content, just like I do with all the media I consume. So this has been Andy with Nerds on the Run. I hope you consider liking and commenting and subscribing if you're new here. If you are thinking about wanting to be in the loop about what we're doing, ring the bell. Let us know what you want to see on this channel, okay? I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.